What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday, as usual. I know this angle is a little weird, but I wanted to show everybody kind of what I'm working on right now. You can probably see that I have the cabinets in the back kind of taped off. I have I have the cabinet doors off, and they're actually right down there. And I just finished cleaning them all with some what's called TSP. It's like a degreaser. And so you clean it with the TSP, and then that's a part of the prep process for you to continue on and eventually put the primer and then the paint. And so I'm at the beginning stages of getting this thing painted. Now that I have the TSP on, I wiped it off and letting it dry, and then I'll put my primer coat on. Hopefully tonight I get to put the primer coat on. It's about 520 right now, and then I'll let it dry overnight, and then hopefully I'll be able to put two coats on tomorrow. Call it good. And the kitchen won't be done, but the kitchen cabinets will be done. So it's a step in the right direction. But again, happy Saturday. It's been another, emotional week. I wanted to hit some points. One of those is there's, you guys know I talk about this group that I enjoy watching called All Deaf Digital. It's a comedy like company that does a lot of online material, not online material. It does a lot of online content, mostly on YouTube. And today, one of the members was talking about, how it's important to protect our women, black women in particular, because black women they're expected to kind of be strong and be tough and be at the forefront of everything. And a lot of times, us as men and as black men, even, we either take that for granted and don't realize that sometimes they need, somebody to stand in front of them and kind of be a voice for them. Or sometimes as black men, we're dealing with a lot of our own stuff that we don't even notice or put ourselves in a position to be there for our women. So let that be kind of like a lesson. I'm just reiterating it. I'm not coming up with it, but I thought it was a very important lesson that should be repeated. So I'm repeating it. Let's protect our women a little bit better, and especially from things like sexual assault. I bring that up because I personally know women in my life who have dealt with sexual assault or sexual violence in one way or another, and I know too many, honestly. So we need to do a better job of making sure that that can't happen as easily as it's happened in the past or up to this point. So that's my little PSA. Actually, I have another PSA. Speaking of, you know, PSAs, I would not be responsible, or it wouldn't be right, in my opinion, if I didn't mention that when I talk about sex, I'm talking about having sex in a consensual and a safe space. All right? What that means is consensual means all parties that are involved are okay with the acts that are being done or being performed. And it means that, all parties have agreed to perform whatever they're going to perform, or not agreed to perform it, but have agreed that this space is okay to continue. Okay, if anybody says stop or no, don't take that as a joke, and don't take that as anything less than what it is. Stop or no means stop or no. And that goes along the lines of kind of like what I was just talking about protecting our women. One of the ways we can protect our women is by not being predators, like having this mentality that because we want something as a man, from a woman, they're supposed to automatically just give it to us, even if they don't want the same thing. That's not cool. That shit ain't, like, that's not where it's at. And so that's a part of the conversation of protecting our women. And I think that we can control that aspect a lot easier than what someone else does. But we can definitely control what we do. So that's the consensuality part. The safe part, of course, is, wear protection. Whether you're in a long-term relationship, whether you've been dating somebody for a while, whether you just met somebody, take the precautions to protect against unwanted pregnancy and STIs, sexually transmitted infections. I think we can get in a space, or we can get in a position where we feel like, because maybe we're comfortable with somebody, that we don't have to use protection or take precautions. But in all honesty, unwanted pregnancy, it's not that hard for that to happen. All it takes is a drop of semen or ejaculate. And so keep that in mind. Be safe, be consensual, and then enjoy and have a good time with it. And use it for what it's for, which is pleasure and exploration. So yeah, that's what I got as far as PSAs. It's June. Is it June 19th today? No, it's June 20th. Yesterday was June 19th, which was Juneteenth. For the first time, I really kind of looked into what Juneteenth is about. I've heard of it in the past, but this year, for whatever reason, I felt compelled to look further into it. And for those who don't know, Juneteenth is June 19th. Excuse me, we got the burps right now. It commemorates June 19th of 1865, when the last slaves in the U.S. were notified that slavery had ended. And even though the Emancipation Proclamation was in 1862, I believe, there was still slavery going on in different parts of the country where that message had not been sent, or the laws just weren't being enforced, which is not that hard to believe. So in Galveston, Texas, in 1865, June 19th is when the last of the slaves were notified that they're free. So that's a big day, in Black history. And, I felt like it was a day to celebrate, and not only that, just kind of ponder on different things. I like to do that anyway, but, whenever I have an excuse to ponder further or deeper into stuff and into, my own life and kind of where I'm going, what I'm doing, what I'd like to see out of my life, I take that opportunity. So yesterday I took that opportunity. I took off of work, even though, it's not a recognized holiday, but I felt like it was important to take the day off, kind of regroup, and just kind of, celebrate the best I could. I didn't really go out or anything, but like I said, I wrote, in my little notebook, and I really just got more in touch with my thoughts, and it was really nice to have that moment yesterday. And yeah, I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I did. Once the world, I don't want to say goes back to normal, because it may never go back to normal, but once we're able to get out and move around freely like we used to, a day like yesterday can be celebrated in a different way. It could be celebrated like July 4th is celebrated, or like Memorial Day, outside, barbecues, beach, family and friends, fun like that. But since we're not in that space yet, I just had to commemorate the day within my own home and just kind of start to game plan how I'm going to tackle this project. So after the cabinets are done, this is switching topics, obviously. After the cabinets are done, I am probably going to hit the floor on the kitchen. So I don't know if you can see that. I can move this around. I forgot. So the floor has tiles right now, ceramic tile. And what I want to do is I want to put want to put vinyl tiles down, which I already have. That's also on the side there. Over there. It's hard to point in reverse. But I have some vinyl tile that I'll be putting down as well, and that's likely going to be the next step. I want to be able to finish a room at a time, and so that's not going to complete the kitchen, but that's going to complete the big parts of the kitchen. So the floor, the cabinets, once I knock those out, I just have the faucet I'm going to change out for a newer style faucet. I'm going to put a backsplash because what's on there right now is this old white tile backsplash, and it looks weak. So I'm going to put kind of like a subway tile style back there and make it look more modern. And then I think that'll be, oh, and then I got to add like, I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to add some lighting underneath the cabinets because it's really dark under there at night. And I would like to also add some lighting up here, like right over the kitchen, but since I have a light fixture right there, I think if I put brighter lights, that's a good start. And if I have lights under the cabinets, that should be enough lighting for the kitchen. But that'll be the end of the kitchen situation after that. And then I can move to the bathroom. The bathroom has some stuff that needs to be done. You guys saw on one of my previous videos when I took the bathroom door off. I have yet to add a new door on because a sliding door is going on there. A sliding door that's going to be on the outside of the bathroom. And I haven't gone to get that door yet. That's because they don't have the one I want in stock. I want the one with the frosted glass panels on it, and that one is not in stock at the moment, so I just gotta wait. So that's what I'm doing. But in the meantime, I'm getting other shit done. So I'm trying to do like a project a weekend. I don't want to give myself a time limit because I don't want to end up doing things in a rush and then regretting, taking stuff off and then having to deal with it afterwards. So I'm letting myself sit within ideas for a little bit, and then I move on the ideas after I've become comfortable with what I've chosen. So yeah, that's what I got. I haven't talked about food much, huh? I haven't really been out to eat though. So that's probably why the whole food conversation hasn't come up. Last weekend, I went and got some East African food. I should have put some pictures up, but I forgot to put the pictures up. I got some East African food from a restaurant called, is it Taste of East Africa or is it East African Cuisine? I'll get the name, but it's a good restaurant here in San Diego that I've had now a couple times, and I enjoy it. But this week I was supposed to try some more stuff, but I just haven't been out the apartment. So, I went out the apartment yesterday, but it wasn't for food. It was like for some what do you call it? Bump removal cream. Actually, that's another thing though. You might have noticed that I think it was about a week and a half ago. Actually, it might be 2 weeks now. I cut my hair bald, or I cut my head bald, but I used a razor. And I think where I messed up is I used the razor and I went against the grain. So that's in the reverse direction that my hair grows. And it was great in terms of, the smoothness and how close it got. Oh, I was feeling that. I kept touching my head and just like, oh, this feels pretty good. The only problem was maybe a couple days in, once the hair started growing back, the little stubble started coming out, man, the irritation started getting bad. And so maybe a week, not even a weekend, maybe 4 days, 5 days in, I really started to get, the irritation, the inflammation, the bumps. And so right now I got, like the razor bumps in the back. Obviously I'm not, rubbing them or, making them worse. But I had to go get some kind of cream because I thought maybe they would pass. They didn't pass. They're still there. They make it tough to go to sleep sometimes because the head I just want to, scratch my hair in my head, but I know I'm not supposed to. So I went and got some cream yesterday from CVS, and that's given me a little bit of relief. We'll see how it works in the next few days, if it's effective or not. And if it is, then of course I'll put a plug up for this company if they do what they say they could do. But if not, I'm not gonna put them out there. I'm not even gonna talk about them if it doesn't work. So this weekend, Father's Day, hopefully you can have a great Father's Day with your father, with your grandfather, with someone in your family that you look up to as a dad. Just whoever you want to share that with friends who happen to be fathers. Don't let this day go forgotten, just like Mother's Day. Even though, I'm not going to lie, I am notorious for letting these kind of days go by without giving the proper due to the people that they're supposed to be celebrating. But that's because I tell my, people that I care about, people that I love, I let them know that I love them. I let them know I care about them. I let them know I appreciate them all throughout the year. Maybe not every single day, but we can have a random conversation and I can let people know where I stand with them. And so I am kind of one of those people who just believes that these holidays are kind of made up. A lot of them are. So I don't buy into a lot of the hype behind a lot of holidays. But that doesn't mean you don't have to. If you care about them, and if you have people in your life that care about those holidays, then go ahead and, make them feel good and let them know that you're thinking about them on that day and that you appreciate them. Just let them know what's up. Don't let them be forgotten. All right. I think that's going to end today's video. I don't have much else. Again, don't forget, get in my comment section. Let me know if you have questions. If you feel like you want to be a little bit more discreet, a little bit more, on the low about what you have to ask me, you can go ahead and DM me. It's the same handle, Born to Explore, BRN, number 2, letter X, PLORE on IG. You can find me there. You can ask me questions in my inbox, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But don't shy away from making comments in the comment section either. If you want to let me know how much I look like Kyrie Irving, or how much my background looks like a hotel background, or whatever you want to say. These are comments that I've had in the past, of course. The Kyrie one is probably the most common. But yeah, put whatever you want in there. Just be respectful, be positive, and yeah, I'll answer your questions best I can. So that's another episode of I don't really have a name for this. I think I've been calling it like Saturday Conversations or Saturday Vibes or something, but it's just another episode. Again, like the video if you like it, subscribe to the channel if you like the channel so far, and let me know what you want to hear or talk about. Suggest some stuff for me too. Sometimes I get stuck on what you might want to hear, so let me know. All right, talk to y'all later.